is the way he challenges the black elite. He talks about the black elite that's on TV and speaks that honest truth that we've always talked about on this platform, that a lot of times the worst ideas get out to the black community because the Negroes on TV care nothing about actually going in and building for the community. And the reason they don't is because if they do that, they'll be punished. They'll be taken off the platform and replaced by somebody who plays ball. They'll be punished. They'll be taken off the platform and replaced by somebody who plays ball.
I see a devil already popping up in here. Ooh. Brother, if you knew what Allah showed me of you, you would go right away and change. Up in that third balcony, the second balcony. Man, evil nigga. Oh, Yakub ain't got nothing on you. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, believers. Some of you are gonna try me, and I will show you very quick who I am. And you're gonna be surprised. Some of you little crazy Negroes, your heart's so filled with darkness and hate. But if you make the little move that you got in your crazy brain, you won't last. You won't last. And I say this, when we get real tight, strong, see a snitch and an enemy that's in here among us, he'll show up. I'm going to say this public, because I really don't give a damn about the consequences. A dear brother and or sister, if you're on the payroll for the police or the FBI, I don't mind you being there. I really don't mind. Because we're not doing anything that we would be ashamed of. So you can be here. It's okay. And even if we knew you was the police, we would not bother you. However, if you work in an evil way to try and break up something good for our people, then we will kill you.
Salute, salute. Welcome to class, squad. Happy holidays for all of those that must celebrate it. You know what I mean? Happy holidays to you all. What's going on, Brad Squad? We here early on the 4 o'clock Eastern tip. It is getting crazy out there, guys. It's getting crazy out here in New York, man. The wind blowing. The wind will blow you right on your back, yo. The wind will blow you right across the street right now, yo. It's going down. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys are in a safe spot, listening to me, watching, tuned in a nice, safe spot, warm spot, you know what I mean? Kick back, getting ready to celebrate this holiday, you know what I mean? So guys, today I'm going to keep it honest. Why do we got Candace Owens here? Damn, that's the last time I went live, yo. We didn't have class yesterday. But yeah, today, guys, This is testimony day today, guys. I wanna explain. You see the thumbnail, guys. How did how black men were tricked into becoming modern men and beta males, guys. You know what I mean? They tricked us, guys. They tricked us. Some of us ain't come back. You know what I mean? But they tricked us into remaining Adam. You know what I mean? And today we're going to get to the root of that. We ain't going to lie. We ain't going to eat crab legs. We ain't going to point the finger at the women. Today, guys, we going to talk about us and how we going to get it back. How we going to get back to the prominent, you know what I mean? Us, guys. We talking about us. And, you know what I mean? The title reads Black Man, guys. But do keep in mind, for my white brads, y'all, man is man. We are all man. You know what I mean? This a man thing. The black title is for the algorithms, guys. It's jinking over here. It's jinking over here. We do the most foolish shit on earth, on planet Earth. So I gotta put black on it. You know what I mean? But this is a everybody channel right here. You know what I mean? So man. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. I want you guys to see how important it is. So I'm gonna make sure I take my time with this one. And this is me too. This is me included. I had to change the laws of my mind. You know what I mean, guys? And until I did that, it was no victories for me, guys. And this is what made me stupid. I mean, this is what made me stupid. Along with my mom's being hella independent, you know what I mean? Along with my mom's being hella independent, because you know how our mom's is. She proving a point. She got to prove a point. So she become hella independent and she leave us to kind of raise ourselves. You know what I mean? We ain't going to lie and eat crab legs today, guys. We're going to keep it all the way official today, guys. You know what I mean? We're going to keep it all the way official. A lot of us picked characters. And we got these characters from the movie and the music. So we're going to focus in on the music today. But I need you guys to understand how important you are. You know what I mean? As black individuals, as men, period. As men. You know what I mean? So pay attention to this, man.
You are looking at the most important man in the world. In America.
That is the most important man in the world. All right? You heard that? Now, whether you know it or not, the truth is what it is. We need you to go, I need you to know it. I need you to get back to knowing it. You know what I mean? See, they remove us from it. They keep us from it. That's put God first. You heard what he said right there? That's putting God first. You know what I mean? Y'all let them blur the lines with their little religion and their church. But when he say put me first, that's what he talking about. Me is you. You is he. All right? One more time. Very important live, guys. Make sure y'all hit that like button. That's how you pay your school tuition.
You are looking at the most important man in the world. In America, he is called John Doe. Other countries have other names for him. He is the man without a face. Every man. The average citizen. The man who totals $1 billion when added to all his counterparts all over the world.
Exactly. Do you hear that? Do you hear how powerful we are when we stay out the crayon box and we stop playing this colors game? When we unite on the side of good. All races. It doesn't matter. If you on the side of good, we become powerful. We become one. You know what I mean? Evil can stop having its way. You see, evil works very well in chaos and confusion. It is the author of it, guys. Let's hit that again, man. I need y'all to really get this. They removed you from who you really are and got you addicted to what they want you to get, what they want you to be.
You are looking at the most important man in the world. In America, he is called John Doe. Other countries have other names for him. He is the man without a face. Every man. The average citizen. The man who totals $1 billion when added to all his counterparts all over the world. In the final analysis, he will decide the future of the world. Because his importance is clearly recognized by forces that seek world domination,
we will decide the future of the world, guys. You know what I mean? Us, man. That is no cap. That is no crab leg. Man. You know what I mean? It ain't say white man. It ain't say black man. But man, as a team, man will decide the future. You know what I mean? We got to get it together, fellas. Remember, we ain't talking about the women. The women can eat the popcorn today. The women, we going to own up on who taught us how to be stupid and how to unhook that and how to change the laws of our mind, guys. That's what we going to do today. All right?
his mind has become a target.
Because his importance is
Clearly. You are looking at the most important man in the world. In America, he is called John Doe. Other countries have other names for him. He is the man without a face. Every man. The average citizen. The man who totals $1 billion when added to all his counterparts all over the world. In the final analysis, he will decide the future of the world. Because his importance is clearly recognized by forces that seek world domination, his mind has become a target. Because his importance is clearly recognized by forces that seek world domination, his mind has become a target.
And that's why we go over what we go over here on this channel, guys. That's why we the Real Red Pill channel. Because it's all about mind control. It's all about mind control. It's all about being in control of your emotions. Because if you're not in control of with your emotions, then the people can mess with your mind. They can play with your head. You know what I mean? And they gonna take all your money. You're gonna forever stay in poverty. You're gonna stay in a poverty position pretending. And you know what I mean? You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that because we are not victims. We as black folks are not victims. You know what I mean? All right, let's get on. Let's keep it moving. Guys, I know y'all saw this. I know y'all remember this. Earlier this year, I didn't touch on this earlier this year. I let it rock out. I let everybody chime in on what they had to chime in on. But I knew I was gonna end up getting to it. But this is who taught us how to be stupid, yo. A part of it. Big part of it. Yeah. After Takeoff died, a former executive came out and dropped some jewels on the rap game and the hip hop game, guys, because ultimately hip hop culture ruined us. All right, guys? Hip hop culture ruined us to the point of no return. And it's sad because I don't know if you guys, I don't know how young and or old you guys are. I don't know how many of you know the lady that's on the thumbnail. This lady right here. When I was y'all age, when I was 16, 17, 18, they made me believe the Democratic Party and my family and the hood made me believe that this lady was the devil. They made me believe that this lady was the Lilith. Her name is C. Delores Tucker, guys. This lady name is C. Delores Tucker. This lady prophesied. She prophesied exactly what was going to go on with the music. Once you let the devil and you let Satan get in control of the music, and how you let Satan get in control of the music, because this is not a knock on my musicians, this is not a knock on my rappers or anything, guys. I'm just gonna spread light and show you some things tonight. You know what I mean? When you monetize what God left for us to have and enjoy, the gospel. Because all music is, all rap music, hip hop, drill, it's gospel. It's the gospel. But you see, they done monetized it now. They done found a way to manipulate it and steal the people money. and in the process get the people operated and brainwash the people to buy into another big time money hustle in attached to the devil's chambers, guys. You see how that work? How they manipulate the people? When you manipulate what God left for us, just like they did with the sex, just like they did with the alcohol, the weed, you know what I mean? Everything God left for us, the scriptures, down to the scriptures, they then took and manipulated and made money out of it. And once you do that, you turn it from good to evil. All right. This is C. Delores Tucker. She dead ass. Her and Bill O'Reilly used to talk and kick the shit out of the hip hop game, but nobody wanted to listen. This was Candace Owens before Candace Owens, guys, and she prophesied at this. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into this lady more. But let's get into this right here. Let's see what this one had to say.
That a rapper from Migos died, I just wanted to go ahead and make a video about something I had a unique experience in. So I directed a bunch of rappers, people like Gucci Mane, Snoop Dogg, Lil Yachty, the list goes on and on and on, okay? I learned a lot of things, and I have left the industry largely over my political beliefs, but there is something I want to impart to people to hopefully, make some sort of change happen. So I have a challenge to rappers, and I know some of you still follow me. I know a bunch of the celebrity blogs still follow me from trying to get news from music videos and things like that. So here's the truth. The truth is this: a bunch of young black male rappers keep dying. You know who's not dying? Record executives. The record executives that push for them to continue to make songs and create a culture that is obsessed with death, drugs, and sex. Period. The industry is obsessed with it, but those record executives, they're not dying because they don't push this culture on their own people, but they're encouraging you to push it on yours, and they're paying you handsomely to do it. The reality is, I know a lot of you. A lot of you are good people. You're family guys. You're not the image that you put out there to the world. Why? Why don't you be the example? Stand up. I challenge you. Be the example. Make music about the culture you want to see. Don't just get online today and talk about how, whenever a rapper makes it, his own people take him down. Don't just make those videos. Don't be sad. Don't rest in peace. None of that stuff. Be the change you want to see. Inspire it in your community. Reach out to other rappers and say, we have to stop.
And see, that's real. That's powerful. And that's what I said just now. I'm not knocking. This is not a knock to those rappers. This is just bringing awareness that you got to change how you doing the gospel, bro. You got to start enlightening the folks, putting the folks on, because what you doing is stupid, bro. You go into the so-called white man platform to tell the black man's story, taking checks from the white man and then expecting total freedom. Like, are you stupid? Are you dumb, yo? And it don't work like that, guys. You know it don't work like that. Look at all the celebrities now just trading in, changing in their whole catalog for a big payout. That should tell you something else about the game. Now, I mean, these labels are in control of everything, bro. Everything. Let's continue.
We're being used. You've been used for a long time. They create this paradigm to make you believe that you're so important and your celebrity status is worth so much, but in truth, you're a pawn in their game and you always have been. The government has wanted to hold down communities of people in different ways through different methods for a very long time. Their method in the black community has been to use entertainment to create a culture obsessed with death, drugs, sex, and money, so that they could create a false paradigm of what happiness and what success really was. And in doing so, they created a world that also made people more dependent on government, and as a result, gave themselves more power. The record.
Y'all see this? Y'all see the common pattern, guys? It's the democracy blueprint. Remember, I told you this is a game of templates, where it's really one template, the divide and conquer template, and you stick it on any situation, and it's the same template. It's the democracy right here.
Executives that push you to do this, to go and continue to profit off the backs of your work, they're in cahoots with the elite. They're in cahoots with the government. They want you to think you're important, but in truth, you're just doing their dirty work for them, so stop. They've empowered you in ways that are real. You have an audience, you have platforms, you have the ability to make change. So go against the grain together. They're more afraid of you all together standing up and creating a new culture that's built around family, faith, freedom, doing the right thing, valuing life, than they are of anything else. So I challenge you, use your power to do the right things. If you continue to do the same thing you've done, more rappers like this are going to die. How many have to die before you change the culture? And let me tell you something else. There's a reason the record labels pay us more to do rap videos. They don't tell you that, do they? Do they tell you that they pay us more to do your videos? Because they do. They do it because they know it's more dangerous. They do it because they know it's more difficult. And they do it because, frankly, there's a lot of money laundering involved. Those labels wash a bunch of money through. We don't do it, but we know the labels are doing it 100%. Okay, they're then taking the money off the top end, and you see on your royalty check, oh, they spent $150,000 on this video. Did they? Because we didn't see $150,000. Okay, so where did the money go? And to who? Their friend's company? A lot of times that's the case. Same thing with insurance.
And that's a fact, guys. That's when I realized that being a rapper was really quite like being a hoe. It was quite like being a hoe. It was quite like being the last line, the pitch man. It was like being the hand-to-hand man. You know what I mean? Same instance, same thing. You could lie, and nigga, the OG lie and say, I spent this for the brick. I spent this for the brick so that way he could only have to pay you this. Whole time niggas spend dumb cheap for the brick. You know what I mean? Like, being a rapper is the whole position, bro. Niggas tell you anything. They tell you anything, guys. So they got you racing for slavery. That's a slavery position. This is why I say slavery is a choice. Slavery a choice, because we'll choose these shits. We choose all of these things. Poverty, slavery, you know what I mean? Consumerism. We'll choose these things and then play dumb. Like but the white man ain't forced us to choose it. Yes, the powers that be may have rolled it out. Like, hey, you want these watches? But you took the motherfucking watch and put it on, like, and thought you was gonna do something with it without doing the education first behind it. Because for some money, niggas will sell out their next brother. You'll sell your own brother out for some money, black man. Niggas gotta stop doing that. Gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop being thirsty. We gotta think smart and do the homework. We can't start skipping steps thinking that we can skip steps to get to the money. No, you can't. And it's quite funny that you see how they know us. Listen to him. This is him or her? To him. Listen to him. They notice. It's like this. Like I tell my black people, like, I'm not bashing black folks. I'm not. It's just I know my people. Like, I study my people like how these people studied you. You know what I mean? It's a mathematical equation. It's not that hard. I used to wonder why Kwame used to always be like, yo, y'all is easy. Y'all easy to beat. Y'all easy to beat when he was beefing with the blacks, the coloreds. Now I get it. Yeah. Yeah. The more I learn and study the individuals in the black community, yeah, it's easy. It's easy. Mathematical equation. And we got to change that. That means it's too many of us running off of false information and stupid shit that our hell of a mother taught us. Who taught her how to be a dummy, bro? And then who taught that person? That's what you need to find out. That's why you need to change the laws of your mind. You got to get rid of that old ego, bro. You got to throw it in the fire and take your new blessing. You have to. And this is part of that old dumb shit that you could be a rapper. Everybody can't be no rapper. More than everybody can't be a rapper. We already know that the shit is nepotism, bro. It's owned by the Jews. You know what I mean? And then it all trickles down to nepotism. You know what I mean? Families. So if you're not a part of the family, you ain't getting in there. If you ain't trying to suck no D, you ain't getting in there. You trying to bend over, you ain't getting in there. Now, if you do those things, you might get in there. You might get a chance to get in there, but they're going to have you on tape. And the minute you get fly they're going to have your ass like Ari Spears and motherfucking Bobby Shmurda laying in the bed with a mook. Like, that's how the game go. Y'all heard her. Y'all heard on my girl. Y'all heard my girl. What's her name? On Vicky Woe. She told y'all how they do. They taking IDs. They want your phones, but everything they got is recorded. They record everything, but they want your phones. They want your IDs for these parties. And then they get their little friends to gas you like, yeah, so and so gonna be there, so that you can go there. And then before you know it, you on tape doing some more wild shit. Come on, guys. That's how the industry is. That's what you want. You want parts of that? Do you want parts of that? Stay independent, guys. Stay independent. Do your thing independent and do the right thing independent. Be different. Don't go with what everybody out here doing. Be different. Bring some different shit to the game. Be unique. I never did what everybody was doing, bro.
Insurance companies, they charge us more to insure your videos. And it's because they know the culture that's been created. They know that the only possibility of a music video being shot up is on a rap video. And that's the truth. So change the culture. You have the power. Your people deserve it.
Now that's much love, and that's big. That's much love, and that's big ops right there, yo. That's big bro type shit. This is what I mean, guys. Y'all gotta stop running around here sucking on lemons, thinking that all white people is like your moms. Evil. Nah, they not. They not. You know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers want to see us win, because us winning ensures them to continue to win. Who fuck taught y'all niggas how to be so stupid, yo? Damn. You know what I mean? All right, guys. But yeah, he got checked too. They had smoke for him. They had smoke for him, and I got that. So we're gonna go into that. You know what? They wasn't feeling that shit. So you know the elite sent some peoples at him, and they, you know what I mean, started fucking with him, talking about the gun. If y'all notice, he had the gun in the back on his wall. Hold on, let's go back so y'all can see that. If you notice, he had the picture right here. Oh, y'all can't even see it right now. Right here, guys, is a picture of, if y'all can see my cursor, right here is the picture of, he got like a gun. He got like a gun there. You know what I mean? And they're gonna fuck with him for it. Let me see if I can get y'all. There you go. See this gun right here on the wall. You know what I mean? So they're gonna fuck with him because of that. And I got that footage right now for you. Let's get that. Hit that like button, guys. The goal tonight is we trying to get 50 likes tonight, guys. We can get 50 likes tonight, we'd be lit. You know what I mean? We trying to get 50 likes tonight.
Everyone, I wanted to make sort of a part 2 to the video I made yesterday challenging rappers. That video yesterday has now been viewed millions and millions of times all over social media. It brought up some interesting questions I wanted to answer, and also some more thoughts that I had. But first, I wanted to address something. Some people brought up the fact that there was a painting, it's an Andy Warhol painting of a gun in the background of the video that went viral. And they asked, why would you do that when you're telling people to stop perpetuating violence? And let me be very clear. Guns do not automatically equal violence, okay? I am very pro-gun. I believe in the Second Amendment. I want you to imagine a country where every home had a father and a mother in it, and that father protected the home with a gun and protected his family, his children, everything that he loves with a gun. That is a good, strong country. In fact, if you look back at history, when Black America was thriving, it had fathers in the home, it had a fantastic culture built around it, beautiful music, and it had fathers. that is the country that we need to get back to, full of opportunity and filled with families taking care of each other. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. I am proud to be a gun owner, and I think more people need to be responsible gun owners. And if you haven't seen the movement out there for more Black gun ownership, you need to check out Maj Toure. He's awesome. He has an organization that goes to train people and train families and to make sure that people know their Second Amendment rights and use them. Now, to address another issue, a larger issue that I thought was really interesting. So this video goes over millions and millions of views on social media and amazing reception from the Black community. People are in agreement, and I knew they would be, because guess what? Black America has been saying this for a long time. We just need more people in prominent positions to speak up and to fight for them. And so I wasn't surprised by that. What I was sort of laughing over is the fact that the only people who disagreed with what I said, which was basically an empowerment statement. I want rappers to empower themselves to change the culture, because we all know the executives won't. Some people said, why don't you say this to the executives? Because we all know the executives won't do it, period. They won't. They've profited off the backs of this entire culture, and rappers perpetuating it for too long. They're not going to change. Rappers are a part of the community, and I see who they are, and I know some of them are willing to change. So that's why I put it on them to do it. Now, to get into the interesting thing I noticed that the only people who were pushing up against the message and saying, how dare you say this, people shouldn't listen, things along those lines, it was white Democrats. And you know what they were saying along with it? These were a couple of my favorite comments. I have them on screen over here, so I want to read them. One of them said, I bet you all are not aware that this guy opposes handouts. He's not someone you want to listen to. You realize how racist that statement is? As if all Black people need a handout? Are Black people suddenly unequal and unable to achieve their dreams without a handout from somebody? I'm sorry. I believe in a society where everybody is capable of achieving their dreams.
You lump all of them up in one jar when they not all evil, guys. You know what I mean? So he's beefing with another white bread right now. You know what I mean? See, and that's why I tell you all of the time that hatred, racism is just hatred. That's stupidity. That's evil. That's dumb. You know what I mean? So he's arguing with another dummy right now. And the same thing we do with the women, where you lump everybody up, because there is a majority bad women, a majority are Liliths. So you lump all of them up in one category, and you overlook your Eves. So you lump the leaves and you lump the leaves and the Eves in that category too. Like, nah, bro. Don't you gotta learn how to identify, which means fall back some. Fall back and just watch the shit. Watch the shit play out. Don't be so eager to, that's racism. That's racist. Just fall back.
And we don't go and say, oh, well, you're this color, so you need this first. I think that's terribly racist. Okay. The second thing that came up is they said, are you going to let a white man tell you what to do? I wasn't telling anybody what to do. I had a challenge for other people. It's up to them whether.
You can't help these niggas. You can't help these niggas, bro. You can't help these niggas. These niggas want to remain stupid, yo. And this is the part of the problem. This is part of the problem. This is why masculinity is at an all-time low. At an all-time low. You see it in our athletes. You see it in our teams. Low, 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 low. In the boys. Now, it's high in the women, but it's low in the boys.
They do it or not. They're empowered to make their own decision. They can continue perpetuating the culture and more people die, or they can be strong enough, brave enough, wise enough to be a leader, to be a man, and to make a change. That's on them to choose. But it also opened up some other thoughts I wanted to share with you guys. The reality is Democrats have gotten away with this for too long. They've gotten the black vote for no reason. They don't deserve it. In fact, if you look at the history of the Democratic Party, they're the ones who were responsible for the KKK. In fact, not long ago, prominent Democrats today were shaking hands and going to the funeral and giving eulogies for a prominent Grand Wizard KKK member who then later went to Congress. Okay? These are people who also oppose civil rights. And when they try to get away with it, you know what they say? They say the party's flipped. They talk about a Southern strategy. The party's flipped. Don't you know that? That in itself is also a great lie. I challenge you, if you have bought that lie before, I want you to go search out, find what politicians switched parties. Go look. I'll wait. You're not going to find a bunch of politicians who changed parties. You know why? Because the parties didn't change. Republicans were the party that opposed slavery. They opposed the KKK. They fought them. Republican abolitionists got killed fighting for black people to be freed from slavery, okay? Because it was the right thing to do.
This year, the stock market has wiped over $9 trillion.
Yo. Damn, yo. Wait, hold on. It's more. It's more, but they got to protect this man now. They got to protect this man because this man, shit, he opening up a can of worms. He opening up a can of worms. He fighting. He fighting for us. He fighting for us. Give him credit. Even though he don't know. He don't know. He got to stay out of black folks' business, bro. Black folks don't like information. They don't like good information. They don't like, they're allergic to that shit.
If we go further with this, let's go further down the line. Today, this is a group, a party that supports constantly dividing and also looking down on a group of people and pretending like they're incapable of very menial, easy tasks because of the color of their skin. Let's talk about voter ID. Every time that I have brought up voter ID and every time a prominent Republican has brought up voter ID to make sure that people are who they say they are when they go to vote and to make sure that illegal immigrants don't vote in our elections, you know what Democrats say? They say, well, that's racist because black people can't get IDs. I think it's racist that you think black people can't get IDs. That's right. What's racist.
Right.
Every black person I know has an ID. They drive, they go to the store to buy things, they buy Sudafed. You need IDs to fly. I mean, what are they really saying? Are they saying that black people have a different level of intelligence that prevents them from getting IDs? Think about how racist that is. That's who the Democrats are today.
They saying we need to keep them weak. We need to keep them thinking that they weak. We need to keep in control of their emotions. We don't want their emotions to get confidence. No, we need them niggas to think they victims. And it's the white man for it.
They perpetuate their entire party off of a system that needs you to be dependent on them. Because if you're not dependent on them, if you're empowered, if your community is thriving, you don't need them anymore. So who's incentivized to make sure that the black community needs them and by virtue of that needs to be impoverished, needs to be in a state of need and lack instead of a mindset of abundance? The Democratic Party needs that. So that's why now more than ever, this is the time for black Americans to rise up and to take their power. Fight for your community. Make sure that your leaders in the community are actually doing things for you and not serving some master in DC or in the government or part of the elite. Okay, because that's what's happening right now. We have a whole lot of fake leaders, fake social justice warriors. None of them actually care. They care about pulling money off the top. Look at somebody like Sean King, pretends to care about every issue under the sun with social justice. But who has a million pieces written about them on how they've sucked money out of all these organizations and all these donations they've gotten and profited off the backs again of black people? Let's stop this craziness and let's do the right thing. Change the culture and you will change the outcomes for everyone. The other thing you can support is school choice, because what's one of the biggest problems in the black community outside of the violence and fatherless homes? It's education. Black kids are being given in inner cities and impoverished areas more likely than any other race terrible outcomes in education because they get terrible education options in their area. You want that to change? Republicans support school choice. That means we support giving you the money. You decide what school is best for your kid. Instead of the school in the inner city that's terrible, you get that $17,500 that's earmarked to a child in their public school in a place like Baltimore. We say, hey, here's an education savings account with $17,500. You choose what school your kid's going to go to. Then you say, you know what? I'm empowering my child. I'm sending them to that private school over there that costs $16,800. You use the rest for lunches. Okay? That's empowerment. That will change the future. That will lead to outcomes where people who don't have a leg up end up experiencing the American dream and having all the opportunity they could imagine. I know this video is long, but I wanted to cover everything, and I still didn't cover everything I wanted to, like the fact that the government has been working against the Black community for as long as I can remember. If you look at things like the Tuskegee experiments, we're talking about the government secretly going and giving Black men syphilis as part of a test. They treated them like animals. That was the government. And again, you see this all over the world. These people who were praised throughout COVID and the pandemic, like Bill Gates and people in these vaccine industries, you know where they test a bunch of these vaccines? The ones that don't work out or the ones that have a lot of side effects? They test them in third world countries and in Africa, predominantly Black and people of color populated areas. So they bear the brunt of that testing. Why? Again, this is a product of the elite's control mechanisms. Do you want to break out of it? You've got to break out of your own small paradigms that have been sold to you through media about who the Democrats are, who they're fighting for. They're not fighting for you. They never have been. That's why you're in at least the same position that you were previously. Some worse, most worse, honestly, under this administration. And look, I'm not saying Republicans are perfect, or there's some people in the Republican Party who have sort of backwards ideas in certain areas. Sure. Okay. I'm talking about the new right, the Republican Party I represent, which is the vast majority of Republican voters. Okay. We believe in a society that is equal, full of opportunity, and free. Okay. We want to lift each other up. For so long, the idea of unity has been something that's like a mirage far away we're never going to touch. But that doesn't need to be the case. The Democratic Party and the elite have been trying to sell us on a system that keeps us at each other's throats. You know why? Because that keeps us away from their front door. Let me say that again so everybody gets it. They want to keep us at each other's throats so that we're not at their front door. They don't want accountability for them, for the elite. They want us to be the last notes. I had a bunch of people saying, you're all going to listen to this, Caucasian. I'm Cuban. Okay. So again, this should teach you a lesson about going and judging everything on identity. Okay. You never know what people are, what their story is. What you do and are able to control is your choices. Rappers are able to control their choices that they make coming up in the future. Will they choose to change the culture? Because they have an opportunity in front of them and a social movement where the people want it. People want this to change. But the reality is, if those rappers don't take the initiative, it won't. Because it's a lot easier to keep the radio on and listen to the song than it is to make a change as a consumer. But for the people making the songs, if you all band together, that's what they fear. So make the right choice. Band together and make a change. This is the moment. This is the time. Do it.
And that's a whole fact, though. He got me wanting to make a challenge to the brothers in the YouTube space. Like, yo, do the right thing and stop money grabbing, you know what I mean, and help the people. You know what I mean? Really do God work. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop attention grabbing and stop money grabbing. You know what I mean? Challenge. You know what I mean, guys? Let's go on and get into it, guys, because this music made us dumb. This music made us dumb, bro. The music, glorifying the music. We all watched MTV Cribs. We saw these rappers, their puppets, and how they used them to just make us think, reach for the stars. We can get it. We can get it too. Let's fuck our money up too. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it did. it made us buy into consumerism faster. Us as black folks, we was living good before we started to buy into consumerism, to what we saw up on their TV screens, on their colored TVs, you know what I mean, screens. The commercials and the advertisements. That's what dragged us in. The constant watching of this entertainment. You know what I mean?
This is my Tupac Shakur. He has all the tattoos that he actually has. He has the 50 NIG word. He has the life.
Piggy balls and choose your mafia, some more kids. Chloe Bunny, steady running, keep on busting at the booth. You know the booth. Smoking dope like a sharp high. If they learn to fly, but they burn, motherfucker, you deserve that.
Now don't front, y'all. That was us out there. We was out there like that. You couldn't tell us nothing. We had our bandana on. You know what I mean? Not all, but most. You know what I mean? Whoever wasn't doing Tupac was doing somebody else. They was acting. Now hopefully you wasn't Tony Montana. You know what I mean? Hopefully you wasn't acting like Tony. But yeah, you know what I mean, guys. You pick the celebrity, you pick one of their puppets, and that's who you idolized your life to. That's who you became. You took in all their lyrics, you sucked in all their mannerisms, all their movements. You thought you was them. You replaced who God made you by right. You replaced that with that bullshit. Remember I told you, who you look up to and who you intake the most bullshit is who you become. You know what I mean? And yeah, we this is one thing about us men. We can own up to what we did. We can own up to our foolishness. We could dead ass say, you know what I mean? Yo, this shit what made me stupid, yo. This shit is what made me stupid. The problem is our women will never. I'm still waiting for our sisters to admit what made them stupid, bro. They're not going to tell us their hell of a mother made them stupid. They're not going to tell us all the shit that they consumed made them stupid. They're going, but I'm not stupid though. Yeah, you is.
West side. All my profile make all y'all kids go pro.
Just so far, I'll be waiting for you. I say you get girl, I'll be waiting. Just so far, I'll be waiting for you. I say you get girl, I'll be waiting.
That was us. Whoa. It's them.
But the music industry is a secret society, and the music industry's job is to do what? Promote and propagate the images that are most advantageous for the power structure to use in order to facilitate its agenda. If we want black men in jail and dead, we need black rappers to promote a constant message of destruction and degeneracy. Every rap video has elements in it. Killing black people, using women, smoking weed, selling dope, and worshiping materialism. Every rap video. The lyrics might be different, the beat might be different, but the 5 elements of destruction are there present in every single rap video made except for the country.
And right there, guys, is where the challenge is set. If you could start to make hot songs without capitalizing on those 5 elements, then you are nice. Then you are nice. And we need more. We need to get behind those rappers that can do that. That's where we need to push. We need to change the narrative, guys.
We in the club. You wanna rock with us, you ain't a thug. Shout out to my real niggas. We on the block we keep it block. If a nigga move, hollow tips at your fucking top. I wish you can get shot. Alright. I'm gonna say that I ain't fucking too. Papa, he's my dog, and I love him to death. He died out.
Again, guys, not to keep cutting it, but this woman right here, man, this woman right here predicted this, boy. She predicted this, boy. What a prophet, yo. We need to honor this woman. They don't really talk much about this lady, yo. You know what I mean? They never give the pick-me's, the so-called pick-me's, they credit, they due diligence, they shine. This lady needs to be honored, bro. Why is we not having holidays named behind her? She is equally as important to your little Martin Luther Kings and your little Malcolm X's, bro.
His music just changed my life as a whole. When I'm in a bad situation, and this isn't a joke, it's like, what would Tupac do?
Today we have all come together to join forces to address the issue.
That's her right there, guys. This was back in the days when they was starting to get crazy, and some smart thinking black folks, you know, the critical thinking black folks, the ones that's not a part of the herd mentality, the ones that's not victims, they were fighting. They were fighting
For violence in the nation. A violence which has decimated our communities, devastated our families, and destroyed the souls of so many of our youth.
Have grown more violent and depraved. I've said from
You heard what she said, destroyed the souls of our youth. So this is why I don't go full ape shit on no woman. Because this is a black woman that's trying to fight for masculinity, bro. She knew she knew that this music would get you niggas in the real close into dresses. She knew that this music right here have you niggas simping and buying coochie and cash apping girls for sex in today, 2022, going into 23, guys. She knew that back then. She prophesied it. We need to honor this woman. Now, I mean, this is how black men got tricked into becoming modern men and beta males. Because we know all a modern man is a beta male. It's just a cute, fancy way to say it. Because y'all niggas is just like many versions of your mother. You can't deal with the truth. You can't handle the truth. So you got to shape it and spin it to somewhere it can feel good when you hear it. Modern men is beta males. Chad, Tyrone, Pookie, and Ray Ray. All beta. Beta males. Got something missing. And that's your Holy Spirit. Your connection with your coach. You know what I mean? I told y'all, this relationship shit and this life shit is like football, bro. You the quarterback and God is your coach, bro. You can't be out here playing these games with no fucking coach, dummy. Who taught you how to be a dummy?
that this music is drug-driven, greed-driven, and violence. Rap music, gangster rap songs that debase women, degrades the value of life. As a black woman, still calling us hoes, bitches, and sluts. It's calling us niggas, and now it's also defaming our faith.
We are driven by hip-hop. You got to realize that everything that we do, the culture, the atmosphere is driven by hip-hop. They control it.
A dominant favorite among African-American males is a big favorite among young, white, suburban males.
We don't control what's driving the black community. They do.
Picture perfect. I paint a picture. Bomb the hoochies with precision. Ain't nothing but a gangster party.
Making money off a record that is suggesting it's okay to kill cops, and that is wrong.
Also coming in for heavy criticism lately, the lyrics in some, not all, but some, rap music. As correspondent Bill Whitaker reports,
the group's name itself is controversial. Niggers with Attitude, known as NWA, has taunted law enforcement with its lyrics urging violence against police.
You know, when you go back and look at the type of music that black people had out, you know, before hip-hop, look at the kind of music. It makes you really wonder why would you put out gangster rap.
It was gospel. Before rap music, before hip-hop, it was gospel. This is another reason why I stayed away. I stayed away from them videos about who who created rap and who ran rap and who started rap. Do you want credit for that? Is that really what you want credit for? You want your race to own this shit? This is a piece of shit. This shit poison. So I wouldn't give a fuck if the Mexicans said that they created it, if the Spanish folks said I don't give a fuck. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Why the fuck must we always want to cling to stupid shit, yo? The stupid shit. And it's like, all you got to do is just act like you're going to take the stupid shit away from us, and we'll fight for, we'll lose our life playing the victim to gain access to the stupid shit to kill ourselves. That was the template with this rap music. We sat there and watched this whole NWA versus the police movie play out, and we saw, because NWA, they fucking with black folks. Mind you, they getting checks like a motherfucker from the white man who is telling them what they can and can't do. Come on now. Pay attention. They killed Eazy-E, allegedly.
When you see the interviews, Jerry Heller and Dr. Dre and them now talking about what happened back then. Jerry Heller's talking about how he went to Capitol Records and went to these other labels, and basically it was like, you can't put this stuff out. Then he went to Priority, and Priority Records was, accepted him and this and that. How when NWA shot the video, straight out of Compton, sent it to MTV. MTV was like, hell no, we're not playing this. And you got to remember, a lot of people don't realize that whole thing was a publicity stunt to get African Americans to accept this gangster rap. Because contrary to what you may believe, I know it's hard to believe, you have people out there who was really against black people. It was totally against this gangster rap, as they can see what it was. So they had to bring us in on it. Do you honestly think if NWA would have just came with this music? I mean, it just bam, it's on all the radios, on the TV, the video, and they talking about murder, killer, drugs, this and that. Black people would have stepped back and say, oh, you tripping. They're going to think that's all of us. They're going to think there's something wrong with us. You can't put this music out. We would have protested it. We did protest it. This is what you don't see.
WPGC.
An anti-rap backlash is spreading. WPGC in Washington, D.C. dropped violent or demeaning lyrics 3 years ago. Last month, KACE in Los Angeles followed suit. This week, WBLS in New York City.
It's in pop music. It's in rock music. It's everywhere now. It's an epidemic of bad news for our communities around the country.
Support everything that's positive that's going on in the community.
Stop the Violence, a grassroots watchdog group in Los Angeles, pressed KPWR to rein in rap as a public service.
It's just crazy when you see a 4, 5, 6-year-old child walking down the street echoing N-word, nigga, bitch, hoe, killing somebody, this or that, and they can't even say their ABCs.
They did protest this music, but when you have Jerry Heller, when you have the story of NWA out there the way that it is, it changes the perception. So when you look back at it, you see that they're saying that the label said no, and then right after MTV said no, we're not going to play your music video. How come it was on the news? How come that made headlines that MTV turned down gangster rap group NWA's music video? Why put that out there? If they really didn't want people to know about gangster rap or hip hop, didn't want to spread it, you most certainly don't put it on national news.
That's how they set the template. Remember, that's how they set the trap with black folks. You give them something, get them to like it, and then you take it away from them. And that's the act right there. It's just like women. You tell them the opposite of what you need them to do. Because if you tell them if you tell them the right thing, they ain't gonna do it. So you gotta tell them the opposite. Like, oh, don't you take your panties off? Then she'll take her panties off. But if you go say, yo, can you take your panties off? She ain't gonna take them off. And that's just how the brain works. See, they studied you black people. So, you know what I mean? The same way that they studied them, I studied them. So this is why I know what I be knowing. I can just sit here and let a nigga talk himself into you know what I mean? Into stupidity. Like, who taught these people? Because God didn't create nobody. God didn't create no dummy. God didn't create no racist. God didn't create none of that shit. All that shit is learned behavior. And I only have one question for it. who taught you how to be a dummy? You know what I mean? Because for the most part, a lot of people did not go back in and change the laws of their minds. So they running off of dummy information. And I'm not bashing your moms. Like I said, your moms can be a great woman. She can be a hell of a black woman. You know what I mean? But she can also be a hell of a mother too. Like it's just different titles now. You know what I mean? And 9 out of 10, you got your information from your custodial parent, which is a hell of a mother. And it's wrong.
You don't put it on TV so people can look at it and say, well, how come they don't want these black people to play their black music on MTV? What's up with that? Remember, they didn't want to play Michael Jackson. So that's something to stimulate black people and say, okay, now I don't want to play another black group. What's up? What's wrong with their music? They get us to rally behind
easy.
Then you look at all of the interviews that follow. As I said, these are the same companies that own the labels. So we got to peek the track.
Change right there. It's no bullshit. It's real. It's real. 9 millimeters in your ass.
You gotta carry these or you get fucked up on the street. So you gotta be prepared.
Now you remember this scene for when we get deeper into the show. Guys, remember this particular scene, how they just did, and guys, this shit was on MTV. It was on MTV. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it was back in the days. Like, you know what I mean? This shit was on MTV. They promoting this shit. Like he said, you gotta have one of these walking in the street. You see how they related it, how they used these puppets to get us to go crazy in these streets and attach ourselves to the way they living and the shit and the imagery that they're showing us and become them. We lost our mind, guys, and in the process, we remained beta. We remained very emotional. Because niggas is highly emotional, bro. Niggas be highly emotional. It's easy to fuck with niggas' emotional intelligence. Because niggas is highly emotional. Many versions of their mom, of their parent, their custodial parent.
Put the dot on your target, then you blow this shit out.
Look at this shit.
Okay, now, in your records, you know,
everybody grew up in the street.
Killings, robbery, murder, thieving, and everything. The whole 9 yards. Dope dealing, everything. Everything you hear on our records is true.
Yeah, we figure you can't rap about nothing you don't know nothing about.
All these news companies down there interviewing NWA. The NWA on TV saying the right thing. They saying, oh, well, you know, we just trying to talk about what really goes on. We're just trying to give people the truth about the black neighborhood. It's not gangster rap. It's not promoting drugs, not promoting violence, which it was, of course.
I want you guys to keep in mind where all of these guys, Easy died. We know Easy died, but Dre, where's he at right now, guys? Right? He's in a nice position, prominent position, untouchable position. He's set. Where's motherfucking Dr. Dre at? You know what I mean? I mean, Ice Cube set. Dre just did the Super Bowl. He just got the Super Bowl thrown his way last year. Set positions for fucking up the community, guys. That's these be indeed. This is why I don't play those pro-black talking points, guys. Cause we never cook, fry, crucify these type niggas. You know what I mean? And these is niggas. Oh yeah, these niggas. You know what I mean? They did their dirt. They did the bidding.
To keep it real, but it's just we trying to get our voice out. We trying to be heard. And what happens? You get black people saying, "Yeah, let the niggas be heard." They trying to stop something that we doing. See, they understand us. They got us figured out. They knew what would stimulate us, what would get us to rally behind gangster rap, and that's what it was. You had a bunch of people telling us that we can't do something as black people. So you have black people listening to this music. First of all, as I just told you, it bypasses all of the defenses of your brain. So automatically when you hear this music and you get this stimulation and then the beat is bumping and it sounds good, automatically you're going to like it. But when you examine the content, you can't in a conscious mind say that it's good. But that's what's happening, and we're not understanding that. In our conscious state, we're not seeing, what it is. You have to be strong and have some kind of control over your brain to really analyze this, these lyrics, this content, and say, hey, something is wrong with this, and it shouldn't be played, and we should have said that from the jump. But they got us suckered into the whole black versus white thing, as they knew that would happen. And Jerry Heller was smart in doing it like this. They even came out and said, I think it was the president or CEO of Priority Records came out and said himself, the whole thing was a publicity stunt.
See what I mean, guys? I tell you, they always play the arena game. And the arena is ruled by the elites. And then they could put any teams in there on each other. Man versus man, man versus woman, black man versus white man, black woman versus white woman, black woman versus black man. However, light-skinned black woman versus dark-skinned black woman, like whatever. They could, once you put the colors game on it. You know what I mean? The divide and conquer game.
Said it. I think in the documentary that Chris Rock narrated, he says it in there. He said there's a publicity stunt to basically bring hip hop in, and that's what it was. He wasn't going to get us to accept it, but telling us we can't have something make us want it even more, and that's what it was. That's an old trick. Tell somebody they can't have something, and then we automatically want it, and that's what happened. So you remember that, that was like 1988 when it came out. 1989, MTV finally plays NWA, and we see him in Yo MTV Raps.
And in 89, they finally play it, right? And 2 years later, guys, is when Lazy Bone had that hidden meeting, that secret meeting. So that just lets you know, within 2 years, the elites and the Jews over there knew, like, this shit right here, we got a hit. We got a hit. And it just took 2 years for them to put the fix in, and take the game away from black culture.
They put out Express Yourself, and that's another video, another song that's deceptive, that gets you to think that, okay.
Oh yeah, with the help of black individuals too. So let's not forget that part. With the help of black folks, black dummies. You know what I mean?
Well, they're just expressing themselves. What's wrong with expressing yourself? First Amendment rights.
Some rap artists call this an infringement on their right to free speech. Critics say the artists have a right to say whatever they want, but others also have the right not to hear it.
Instead of continuously exposing our youth to negative media that distorts their images of male-female relationships, that undermines the stability of our families, communities, and nation by encouraging violence, abuse, and sexism as acceptable behaviors, and perpetuates the cycle of low self-esteem of African American youth. Thus, images that degrade our dignity and are an insult to our children, our families, and communities concern us too. And that includes...
Yo, she called it. She called it. They calling her hater. But she called it. She called it. Know what I mean? Niggas can't get Cookie for free no more. Know what I mean? Back in the days, guys, Cookie was free. Guys, they was smashing the whole team, guys. Know what I mean? Fuck how you feel, bro. She called it. She said this shit was gonna raise the price up, and fuck the community up. She called it. Same thing like nowadays, bro. We sitting here we call out black women inconsistencies, and we get called a hater. You know what I mean? So this is why you can't worry about what people tell you. When you know you right, you gotta go full speed ahead, bro. We need to honor this woman right here. Way too many fake bitches get too much credit and did nothing. The niggas too. Especially the niggas. Niggas got their name on light poles and cause they did the bidding. They did the bidding. That's why these niggas get their name on light poles. We get to take off niggas on calendars and shit next to presidents. Who is stupid, Joe? Who is dumb? You know what I mean? Remember, guys, we need a leader. We need a leader that's not gonna play with them. That's not gonna play with the women, not gonna play with the elites, not gonna play with these niggas. Cause these niggas always looking for the sympathy card now. We got the women playing victim, and we got niggas that want sympathy. Like, hell of a mama raised. Hell of a mama raised. But she caught it.
All this gangster rap and misogynist lyrics.
Damn, rap music, I hate that, though. It's just so violent. It destroys everybody. It makes the kids crazy. The kids kill people. They're cop haters. They're going against society.
Look at the #1 puppet. We know he make a mockery out of us because I did the video where I told you out his mouth, from his mouth to your ears. He said black people are fools. We need them to stay fools so that we can sell more records. You know what I mean? So he already know. He figured it out. So we already know what type of nigga this is. He'll sell you out in a heartbeat, bro. Let's hear that one more time. I think that was more important right there than anything.
And misogynist lyrics.
Damn, rap music, I hate that, though. It's just so violent. It destroys everybody. It makes the kids crazy. The kids kill people. They're cop haters. They're going against society. I don't understand the music. It's too loud.
Yo, it's still a lot of goofy, pooky niggas running around here now. Old niggas, too. Think they this nigga, yo. They think they this nigga, yo. Oh, I'm just take the good stuff. Ain't nothing good about this nigga, bro. It's nothing good about a nigga that is extra intelligent, extra smart, go all the way to the West Coast, turn himself into a fake gangster, and just start promoting stupidity. It's nothing good about him, bro. And it's a lot of OGs. They call them OGs that think they him, bro. They think they him. How do you want it? You know what I mean? They place themselves right in one of his videos, bro. Like they some messiah or something, bro. Stay away from them type niggas, bro. Them niggas is deaf. They're gonna get the same result he got. Trust me. Trust me. Niggas is deaf. You're not gonna be able to grow with niggas that think they Tupac, bro. And it's a lot of niggas from my era, bro. From my era that took in way too much of his stupidity, bro. This nigga was an actor, rapper. He was constantly thrown and pushed in our face, bro. While our mother was off being independent, strong and independent, we sat there in front of the TV watching this nigga perform miracle acts. That's what made us men stupid. That's what made us stupid. And we gonna admit it tonight. We owning up to our shit tonight. So sisters, y'all day is coming. Y'all day is coming. And we gonna want to hear y'all admit to something. Because y'all not perfect. And you got a hell of a mother like my hell of a mother. Now, what happened?
It's too rowdy, it's too violent. Let's ban all rap music. Ban Tupac. Ban the Outlaw Immortals. Ban them. Ban them.
And black people to accept this music that's destroying us, this gangster music. You know, it's a weapon that's destroying the black community. And they was really, really brilliant at implementing their plan. And we had no clue what they was trying to do. And we just went with the flow. It's giving us music not to stimulate us, but to basically dumb us down. To basically, you know, keep our minds off of things that actually matter. Let's keep it real. Now, a lot of people enjoy, you know, gangster rap or, you know, whatever you want to call it. And personally, you know, when you upset, you mad about something and you put on that right hip hop track, for some people, it, you know, it calms you down. But for, you know, most people, it fuels that anger. Like if you get upset and you put on like, you know, that right record, you know, you put on like Tupac Hell.
Yeah, them frequencies start to fuck with you. Them frequencies get in your soul, boy. Them shits will fuck with you. You know what I mean?
That joint it's gonna make you even madder. It's gonna fuel that anger. It might cause you to do something that, you know, you don't want to do. And, you know, that's the purpose of this music, to fuel angry black people, to add on to the violence in the black community. Can't 1 minute promote peace, you know, and treat women good, and then next minute promote violence and treat women like shit and talk about women, you know, in a derogatory manner. So this is the trickery of hip hop and the industry, how they can play off, you know, things. They can deceive you and make you think you're artists.
And that's a fact, bro. Either you gonna be a gangster or you gonna be a rapper. Pick one, because you can't be both. You can't be both in hip hop. You gonna be a gangster or you gonna be a rapper. Pick one. Don't try to merge the shit together, son.
It's okay, cool. But on the next minute, you find that, they contradict themselves. This was one of the issues that a lot of people had with artists like Tupac. He put out a song called, Keep Your Head Up, talking to the women, but then he put out another song that's, denigrating the women. This is the industry. This is how they play, but really it's to trick you and to fool you into thinking that these artists are just, it's just music. There's nothing to it. It's just music.
I'm a special woman full capabilities, and now I'm living in correctional facilities.
And look how they just playing on our intelligence, boy. How funny is this song? Express Yourself. How funny is that this song, they'll just promote and push this song, let them release this song. So it's like, yeah, express yourself. Like we get to tell our story. We get to express ourselves. Like, but bro, they're making the money. They're making the money off of us expressing ourselves, bro. Hello.
Now you remember the video Express Yourself, how they showed the the slave master on the horse on the plantation, basically harassing the slaves. And then it shows, that time when cops are on police horses.
That's crazy. Like, why would y'all even depict that? Why would y'all pick that to be in the video? Like, you could tell, like, you ain't even got no control over that shit right there. Y'all niggas, y'all got y'all check. Y'all all had just came back from shopping. I said, oh shit, we got to be at the video shoot. And y'all niggas just went right through the motion. You know what I mean? The director already had his script and the agenda he needed to push. So, yeah, like I said, you rappers are just puppets, bro. Y'all sit there and be thinking that they be making the whole video. And nah, bro, they just sat there and stood there and nigga said, walk that way, nigga, walk that way, yo. They the bitches. They are the hoes. Rappers are hoes.
Is harassing black people in the black community. So it was kind of trying to show this whole comparison between slavery and today and how nothing has changed. And that, again, was fueling people even more to say, you know what, this hip hop is real, it's telling the truth, it's telling our story. And they got people, for the first time on a huge scale, because now you had this song on MTV. But we thought that we was actually, using this music as a weapon to tell our story, not realizing that, wait a minute, the platform in which we are using, we don't own, they own. So how can we be trying to tell the white man about their problem?
Right. Guys, are y'all paying attention to the graphics? Because I had to use the graphics. Some of the stuff you can't say, but pay attention, guys.
Of what they've done to us, and we're using their platform, we're using their tools, we're using their stuff to put out our message, not thinking that this could possibly be.
And it's the same template for YouTube, guys. Us content creators, the same shit, same template. You know what I mean? Same template. We can't get too cute. We're controlled. We're controlled. No matter how fancy we like to say, we're controlled. At any given day, YouTube can chime right in and pull the plug.
Track, and a lot of people didn't realize that. A lot of people fell into the whole perception. So when you listen to NWA, you listen to the music from that time, it's almost like, NWA foreshadow, like they predicted the LA riots, like they predicted, they were saying that, this stuff happened, police brutality.
Right, it's like they was a part of the script, like along with the whole script of this is what we're going to do. You know what I mean? So we're going to have this rap group who's going to promote they're going to promote this bullshit, this racial tension shit. You know what I mean? So that, and it's an elaborate scheme, an elaborate plan, guys. You know what I mean?
Beat people, and this and that's what goes on. And then Rodney King gets beat.
Police want to get violent with us, we'll get violent with them, because they're ready to die.
In Normandy, right about 4 o'clock this afternoon. This started out as a report of two just left and found this. The looting and violence were widespread, and that is officers from their cars and beaten near the intersection of Florence and Normandy. At one point, two cars collided trying to race through that.
A lot of people can't fathom that maybe the Rodney King beating was a setup. That the whole thing was planned. A lot of people can't fathom that until you really go back and you start to examine the whole thing. When you look at the story, it's rare that his name is Rodney King. Last name King, something that black people can relate to, that last name. Thinking about Dr. King, Dr. Martin Luther King, and it's something that black people could just, it is stimulating.
That's a fact. They studied the black man. They studied the black man and women, bro. They know exactly what float they boat, what get them to, what grinds their gears. They know exactly. So they studied. I wouldn't put it past them.
Something in us to say, what's going on? They beating up black men and King, and we tired of police brutality. And then black people can say, see, we told you. The music was talking about it. We told y'all this is how it is. And then a riot started. You can see that it's like they knew. It's like they prepared for it. They knew this was going to happen. They knew it was going to be some kind of riot. And it's something that this news anchor pointed out on the news.
They obviously have thought about this. They anticipated this. They, meaning the LAPD, they obviously have plans to deal with it. And as we said before, they've allocated $1 million to overtime in case things like this happen. So they are obviously carrying out a pre-thought-out plan.
Hip-hop is a weapon that has been deployed against us years ago, that has destroyed the black community, and it has made us think that we are something that we are not. We are not this culture. It's not our culture. It's not something you should be proud of. It's something that you should be trying to escape from.
It says, we know Dr. Dre does not write music, and we've heard he doesn't actually produce most, if not all, of his beats.
Is there any Dr. Dre beat or any Daz Dillinger beat that gets confused for a Dr. Dre beat?
I did Ain't No Fun. I did slew of songs, Rat-a-tat-tat. I mean, a bunch of songs I probably just got programmed drum, and something like that on it. Yeah, it was, it was a clobbering game back then.
Mike. Take. I was like, he's like, I heard you real nice on the pianos. I played piano for him, and he said, you're not going nowhere.
Allegedly, guys, y'all heard it for yourself. I gotta say allegedly, but allegedly he made that beat right there, guys. And you get where I'm going? Why is Dr. Dre in the position that he's in 2023? Why? When it's not for his skill, because he ain't got no motherfucking skills. He ain't got no motherfucking skill. He got some talent. But he did some bidding. So he cashing in on the bidding that he did, the destruction that he caused in the black community. This is why niggas is out here bugging the fuck out. Beta males. Thinking they rappers. Everybody want to be a rapper. Like ain't nothing else. Like ain't no other occupation on the market other than a rapper. I remember niggas went from basketball and shooting hoops to everybody want to be a rapper. Don't nobody want to finish school and become a basketball player. I remember being the only rapper, and then like 6 months later, boom, everybody rap. Like, nah, yo, that shit made me mad. That shit made me mad. Like, nah, bro, I was the only one rapping. Nah, I was the only one doing this. Y'all niggas wanted to play basketball. Y'all don't want to play basketball no more? What happened? Y'all all got injured? Fuck out of here. But word, bro, it's way more shit than this, man. Change the laws of your mind, guys. Get up out the mingy old ways, man. Sacrifice that old ego, guys, and learn. Learn to earn.
He made the track for Gin and Juice.
My homeboy Emmanuel Dean. I mean, he played all the keyboards and all the melodies.
Gin and Juice. Wow, I thought Dre made Gin and Juice.
Dre came out with the drums, but
just the drums.
Gave him some credit, some.
What other song did he do?
What's my name? All that all that shit, you know what I mean? All that keyboard shit, that's Emmanuel. He was young. We was young, you know what I mean? And
the one thing I always see about you is you always give Dr. Dre his props. Like, no matter what, I'm talking about.
It says, pay attention to how they question him about Dr. Dre.
The height, you know.
Man, nobody better than Dr. Dre.
And that's what you think? You think that's I can look in your face and can tell you mean that. Like I can tell.
But on a producer level, what is it exactly?
Don't even. People be trying to be. I be like, don't you do it? That's like you can't.
Like you battle switch.
You
Would you battle
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
But there's different levels of why Dre is dope.
I'm still trying to. I just know he's just super dope.
I like for that guy.
I be like, damn, how you get that kick to sound like that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Suge said Daz produced Doggy Style, not Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? So if Dr. Dre doesn't write music and barely produce the beats, I asked the question, what's Dr. Dre's purpose in music? Look at his track record. He brought the destructive NWA. He brought the destructive Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Started this gangster shit. Fucking thanks I get.
He was given the destructive as Tupac.
Started this gangster shit.
And finally, he was given the destructive as Eminem. And we know Eminem was ahead of his time because if you look at all of these young black guys, young black boys, they popping pills. Fuck the weed. These little niggas crushing pills up, mixing it in their weed. They doing all the dumb shit this nigga was talking about in them songs and in them videos with the pills looking like Dr. Mario out this motherfucker. Yes, our little black babies is doing that. You know what I mean? The custodial parents, what are y'all doing? Y'all scared of the kids. Because they look like little zombies when they get on this shit. They look like little zombies when they on this shit. I be seeing them. Hey, Mr. Goodbread, what up? What up? Like they about to fall over on their face. And I just be like, what up? And just shake my damn head like, what the fuck? Where's his custodial parent? I mean, she the one getting the checks for him. I bet she get a child support check for that boy. Incredible. But yeah, back to Dr. Dre ass. You saw his track record, guys. It speaks for itself. Because he ain't making no beats. He damn sure ain't making no motherfucking beats. And finally, he was given the drug addict and pill culture. Yeah, right.
You want to really have some conversations about what adult Joe thinks you've brought to this game?
He's talking about Eminem.
How far do we want to take these hot takes? I think I could go to court and make a valid argument that you was the first plant. I'm not.
He ain't the first plant, but he is definitely a plant. We did that. Y'all go check out that video I did on Andrew Tate and him being the red pill plant and how he's really spookily related to how Eminem is the hip hop plant. You know what I mean? You got to peep game, guys. When Biggie and Tupac died, guys, Eminem came on the East Coast. He was in Detroit. He took over a huge chunk of airtime. You know what I mean? Right after the death of Biggie and Tupac. Just like Andrew Tate. Right after Kevin Samuels. You know what I mean? You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to the template moving. When the templates shift.
I'm going to do that. But talk about all you brought to the game. You brought a lot more niggas than that. And all of them ain't nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Zans. No. I mean, yes, a lot of
Lean. So I ask you, why do we praise Dr. Dre? The gatekeeper, drug use, violence, being the engine to destroy the youth, gangster music.
Delores Tucker, use a motherfucker. Instead of trying to help a nigga, you destroy your brother. Worse than the others.
Again, guys, this is the hell of a mother blueprint. You can't help no black nigga because as soon as you go to help them with something that's correct, what they gonna say? You trying to destroy them. You trying to tear them down. You trying to let them be. Let them be stupid, right? You gotta mind your business. Stay out of black folks' business, yo. Let them be dumb. Let them be dumb. Listen to that. Listen to that. And this is why I tell you, guys. This is why I tell you, they had me thinking this lady was the devil. The niggers. My family and friends.
Instead of trying to help a nigga, you destroy your brother. Worse than the others.
Have you been disappointed that there have not been more members of the African American community, particularly leaders in the African American community, who've been willing to be on the front lines with you about rap music?
That has just, that has hurt me more than all that white folks have done to me. That is.
Join the party, yo. That's how we feel. That's how us real men feel about this war, about this gender war with the modern women. You know what I mean? Niggas will stand right there and watch you fight a losing battle, but in a good effort, in good spirit, knowing you're right though. And just watch you.
It's hurt me more because our people don't really understand the effect that this is going to have on our people. Because we're going to be gone. Those of us who've been the fighters. And I'm glad you're recording this history. Because all of us are going to be gone. And the kids, that's why they're recording it. All this music, that's all our kids will be hearing in 2025.
Wow. Wow. Now that's the prophecy right there, guys. Like, you know what I mean? That's the prophecy right there. She knew what she was talking about, guys.
Because we're going to be gone. Those of us who've been the fighters. And I'm glad you're recording this history. Because all of us are going to be gone. And the kids, that's why they're recording it. All this music, that's all our kids will be hearing in 2020, 25 and 30 and 40. 2040 and 50, and they'll have to start fighting. Those who are knowledgeable now will have to start the whole civil rights movement again.
Don't worry, yo. See, Delores, I got a little one that's gonna go boots to asses, yo. Foots to necks, man. I'm gearing them up. I'm gearing up 3 little ones to go boots to asses with straight truth. Don't play with them. Because you're right. You know what I mean? Our time is served. Our time is served, yo.
Those who fail to learn the lessons of history are what? Doomed to repeat them.
Wow, she died October 12th, 2005. And she predicted this shit, yo. All right, guys, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to roll right on in. And we're going to have, y'all heard that. Y'all heard everything, all of the facts and that. And we're going to tie it right on in. Remember, I told you guys, 89, they got it popping. And 2 years later, they had this meeting. And this is the meeting that they had, guys. So this is when they really said, yo, we're going to take it over because this is going to make us a lot of money for at least 30 to 40 years to come.
So the secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation. Damn. So says, hello. After more than 20 years.
Sorry, guys, not to cut it off, but this is one of Eazy-E artists. Keep in mind. Remember, I told you, allegedly they killed Eazy because Eazy was one of those guys who originally started this shit on the West Coast. You know what I mean? So he went to the guy, Helen Keller, and them two was kind of like the first people to know about how powerful this rap music shit, this gangster music shit could be. So it was pretty much between them two. So if you ask me, in my opinion, it was nothing to knock the black guy off. You know what I mean? Shoot him with the AIDS needle and then the Jews take over the whole shit, and that's exactly what happened allegedly. And again, this is the meeting where they made it official. They made it official. They took our culture from us.
I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for. Hey, hold on, let me
So we gonna tell the story.
We gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us, tell the story.
Look, black man.
So look, so he said,
They gonna tell the story. They ain't scared, yo. I don't blame y'all. Well, keep in mind, guys, that's Eazy-E, one of Eazy-E artists. Eazy-E found Bone Thugs and Harmony, who their first album was a banger, guys. Like, they made so much money that first album. So Eazy-E was fitting to ping on all, you know what I mean? He would have been able to open his own label. He would have been the first black record executive, you know what I mean? And he would have been pinging on both coasts. Because, guys, the Bone Thugs and Harmony was from Cleveland. They came out with the songs like Thuggish Ruggish Bone, motherfucking, they had Crossroads. That was the most played. Back in the days, guys, it wasn't all this YouTube shit. So we had to call and order. We had to call and order our videos and just sit by the TV and hopefully they'll play the video we called and ordered. You know what I mean? So that was one of the #1 songs. That song and Coolio. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise. They used to play them two songs over and over. And Murder Was the Case by Snoop. Over and over. That was that era. Like, it was crazy back then, guys.
between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction.
Now, peep game, it's new direction. So what was wrong with the old direction? What was wrong with the old direction?
Music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there.
Right.
Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about
Puffy, Biggie, you have Bone Thugs, Busta Rhymes. These are some names. Fat Joe, Terror Squad. Rockefeller was there. Early days. You know what I mean? The elites, the best of the best, guys. You know what I mean?
the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip-hop.
Talk to them.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement, preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, This intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms will result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curious.
Dame Dash, guys, if you read Dame Dash's book, he talk about this meeting, and I mean, and he was that person, and I mean, I read that book and I heard this story, so I put 1 and 2 together. That was Dame Dash and them, the Rockefeller Squad. They got out of there on that part.
Curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, Jake.
It says, quickly after the meeting began, hold on a second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
Popcorn, get your pistol, no sweat.
Real though.
Quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industries and congratulated us for being selected as part of this small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable in the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement.
That means your Def Jams, your So-So Devs, your Bad Boys, your Priorities, your Columbias, they all invested in prisons, guys. They all invested in private prisons. So you know what that means, right?
He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, at the same time, you still didn't understand what the fuck was going on. You still was like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't know. Guys, they want y'all to rap like this. Nah, that's what that was. Y'all signed a waiver sheet so that y'all could rap like this, so that people could go in them jails, and that your companies, your company that's already making money off of you, can make double off the back end of the people who you influence. You see how you be doing the bidding for the devil and you don't even know.
Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who received funding from the government based on the number of inmates.
Mm-hmm.
The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons.
Mm-hmm.
It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior. Rap being...
Boom, from his mouth to your ears, guys. We cannot make this shit up. We do not make this shit up. And this is nothing personal. I'm not trying to discourage you from being a rapper. I'm just trying to make you aware so that you don't have to suck no D and you don't got to bend over. All right, my guys, that's all. I care. I'm not hating. I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm trying to inform you. Now, if you want to suck some D, go ahead. That's none of my business.
the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our company. And as employees, we'd also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. You could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic.
Right.
Two of the men who were part of the unfamiliar group grabbed the man who shouted and attempted to remove him from the house. A few of us, myself included, tried to intervene. One of them pulled out a gun.
Bro, niggas would have shot your ass and they'd have made a whole fake story that night. It would have been Bone Thugs and Harmony, he gets killed at the light. You know what I mean? Boy, you would have did any other, you play with these bro, you play with these motherfuckers if you want to. You play with the devil if you want to, boy. I swear to God, they would have popped your ass, and the next thing you know, we would have been hearing a sad tune. Yo, well, this guy goes missing, and they'd have made a story up like the rest of the stories that they make up. You know what I mean? Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Put out a gun, and we all backed off. They separated us from the crowd, and all four of us was escorted outside. My industry colleague, who opened up the meeting earlier, hurried out to meet us and reminded us that we had signed an agreement and would suffer the consequences of speaking out about this publicly, or even those who attended the meeting.
Damn.
I asked him, why was he involved with something so corrupt? And he replied, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we can do. No, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we want to challenge without risking consequences. We all protested as they walked.
When you saw what happened to Kanye, y'all saw what happened to Kyrie. Pay attention.
We walked back into the house. I remember word for word the last thing he said. It's out of my hands now. Just remember you signed an agreement. He then closed the door behind him. The men rushed us to our car and actually waited until we drove off the property.
Damn.
So this meeting, bro.
Now that's a lot for a meeting right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, and this person later on, he said, you know, this person actually ended up leaving the music industry after this happened. A few years after this, he ended up leaving the music industry.
Okay.
And he said he just, like, you know, over the years, he just felt guilty because he said as he sat back and he watched these plans come to a reality
over 2 decades,
he sat back and was like, wow, they really pulled it off.
Yeah.
They really pulled this off. He was like, they were told not to sign any more political rappers.
You hear that, guys? No more political rappers. No more rappers. No more speakers of the truth. No more speakers of helping the people. Anybody that get caught helping the people, getting got. You know what I mean? Getting got. Y'all hear how we say it in the intro? Y'all hear the intro? This is what he mean by that. This is what Moist Twatkins mean by that.
Interesting is the way he challenges the black elite. He talks about the black elite that's on TV and speaks that honest truth that we've always talked about on this platform, that a lot of times the worst ideas get out to the black community because the Negroes on TV care nothing about actually going in and building for the community. And the reason they don't is because if they do that, they'll be punished. They'll be taken off the platform and replaced by somebody who plays ball. They'll be punished. They'll be taken off the platform and replaced by somebody who plays ball.
And you know, black folks don't have integrity. So they want to get that cash. They'd be damned if they let somebody else fool the people for the cash. They're like, I might as well take the money. They don't have no spiritual awareness of how this thing works, of how happiness and how peace really work. It don't work by taking money bags for the devil's dues. It don't work like that, guys. And we got to get back to ourselves. We got to get back to our original self, boy. Our original God creation, the way God created us, bro. We got to get back to that. We are so far removed fucking with this foolery. Now it's all coming to the light, guys. It's all coming to the light. Is it not making more sense now? It's making more sense every day. Oh, hold on. We have more on that. Salute to the squad, y'all. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all subscribe if you're new over here. Also, don't forget, subscribe to the Mr. Goodbread show channel. That's where we do the reactions and we do more celebrity gossip over there.
Any more rappers that had messages in their
No
music,
positivity.
it was all to be gangster rap music that they promoted and put out.
So if you wonder where brand Nubians went, where Poor Righteous Teachers went, where Public Enemy went, where KRS-One went, and all sorts of groups like that was talking, even Queen Latifah and Moni Love and those, you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, guys. Think about it, yeah. We went from Lauryn Hill to this Gorilla Zoo chick. We went from Lauryn Hill to Megan Thee Stallion. Think about it, guys. We went from a chick that could sell millions of records with her clothes on to a bitch that can't go gold with all her titties and ass out. Amazing. Think about it.
It's a back door.
Yeah, anything that was harmless, fun rap, you know, anything that had a message in it had to go.
Yeah, that's why if you even notice though,
we talk about that all the time.
Even be brief with it, you know what I'm saying? Those charms that came out like maybe in 1988, 89, the African charms, those they lasted for about 2 years and they disappeared real quick.
Now you see why Eazy-E was allowed to have that big ass gun on TV, right? His company, his record company, allowed him to go on MTV, Yo TV, and with a big ass gun, and they all sitting around there with guns, because that was the agenda. It was plans. It was full speed ahead with the plan.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Now, after reading all this, you know, it actually made me feel a few different ways. The first emotion I felt was shocked, because I was definitely taken back by this, just knowing the level of evil that's involved by even thinking of a plan like this. You know what I'm saying? The second emotion I felt was anger. Anger because it's not enough for them to exploit our culture and make all the money off of it. Because let's keep it real, the industry has never been favorable towards the artists. Never. But they're going to go beyond the artists to get the artists to influence and lure in the consumer, which they knew at the time were mainly minorities. In other words, keep promoting gangster rap so that the youngsters will be influenced by them, which in turn will incite them to want to act like them. And it's a very good chance they'll end up in their prison.
Yeah.
So they're getting paid twice. They're getting paid from the artists they signing, and then they're getting paid from the people that these artists influence that goes to prison trying to be like these artists.
Yeah.
Bingo. And this is all Delores Tucker was trying to point out. You know what I mean? That's all.
So they making a killing.
A killing.
They're using the music business to promote their private prison business.
My man is right there talking that right. 1988, a man named Tom Beasley, man. That's the co-founder of the corrections for Corporation of America. It's the CCA. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French. I'm reading this thing right there real quick. It's the CCA. So in 1988, he founded that, and this is in straight concert with the same thing. So it's like the music business. You do what you do on your side. And over here with the correction facilities, we're going to do on this side, because in 1970, there was 500 prisons. You know what I'm saying? Only 500 prisons in the United States. To this day, there's 1,700 prisons right now. That means big business. I'm talking about that done flippled over. You know what I'm saying? If flippled over is a word, because they're making a lot of money off of these things per inmate. You know what I'm saying? So getting with the same thing of the music, it all went hand in hand, and we just partying at the same time.
So us as the artists is the tool they use.
Yeah.
The music is the bait. And the young consumers are the prey. It's a cold game.
Cold game, bro.
Cold game. Then I feel sad. Sad because everything we seem to try to create, we always seem to give it away. We're always being tricked and deceived into believing that they have our best interests at hand, when clearly they never have and they never will.
But that's where you're wrong, brother. They didn't trick you, bro. You brought in They didn't trick you, bro. Think about it. They even brought you into the meeting and told you what they needed you to do and all of that. And for the chicken, you was like, all right, cool. It ain't feel good. It ain't feel holy. It ain't feel right. But for that chicken, ain't none of y'all niggas was going to say, nah, I ain't with it. You see what I mean? So yeah, hindsight being 2020, we all grow and we all evolve. So I ain't knocking you and thank you for blowing it up. But still, back then that wasn't what you was on. So you can't, I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
They never will have our best interests at hand. It's blow after blow after blow after blow.
Because you continue to take their money without asking questions or without educating yourself on why it is you need that money. You continue to take their money just to stunt in front of your own peers instead of taking money and teaming up with your brothers. No, y'all take their money just to get back to the hood and stunt in front of poor people that ain't really thinking about your ass. You know what I mean? And that's stupid. That seems stupid to me, guys. But yeah, guys, that's the end. That comes to the conclusion of our show tonight. You know what I mean? But not for tonight. That just comes to the ending of this class. You know what I mean? We definitely gonna be back a little later on. I gotta talk about the Master P and the Bow Wow situation and the Romeo and the Jermaine Dupri and the Brat. I'm gonna lump it all up in one nice little video because it's the era of these entitled little baby rappers. They just dissing their fathers now, yo. Entitled little motherfuckers, man. They got crazy. This what happened when you, as a parent, when you use them kids too. When you use them kids for profit, you know what I mean, and you don't teach them nothing. You know what I mean? These niggas start to remember what they think they need to know, and that's not what they need to remember. You need to remember all of the times you put up money, but they too young to understand that part of the game, yo. They too young to understand all the ice creams and all of the stupid shit you bought them. Skates with all of this and glitter and diamond and a diamond Ferrari and shit. They forget all that shit. You know what I mean, when they get older. So this is why you gotta constantly be teaching your little ones. Stop spoiling these little kids and teach these little kids, guys. You know what I mean? We gotta get out of the habit. It's over. Fuck it. We didn't have it when we was young. Okay, we ain't gotta have it for our kids. We ain't gotta have them have it. You know what I mean? If it would have kept us in poverty, then don't push that shit on your little kid. And that music shit too, guys. Let your kid be different. Give your kid a different opportunity. Give your kid a chance. And for those of my rappers, for those of my guys doing the music thing, again, this is not to deter you, man. Just make sure you tighten your lyrics up. Make sure your shit got a message, bro. Make sure you working for the God, the real God. You know what I mean? If not, you're gonna struggle, man. You know what I mean? You might get the money, you might not, you know what I mean? But I know for sure you're gonna spend a whole lot of money before you get the money. It's like a lottery. You know what I mean? You spend a whole lot of money. You spend about 10,000 to get 11,000. You know what I mean? Unless you want to suck some deep, you know what I mean? And then that's different. Then, you know what I mean? They always hiring niggas that want to be, you know what I mean, protected under the umbrella. You know what I mean? Women, gays, and felons. You know what I mean? That's the only way to get in that game, guys. I salute you. Any questions, guys? What's going on tonight? Who we got in the house, man? I see we got Aviated. We got XL Pro. You know what I mean? What's going on? Divinity said. What up, Divinity said? You know what I mean? KDH. Zone, what up, Zone? Zone. CeeLo, what up, my guy? OG CeeLo. The Bell MVP. Yeah, yo, MVP, yo, we hit gold, man. That shit at 27K. It's at 27K. Dirty folks, what's going on, Dirty? We got Cali West Miami. Salute to Cali West Miami. Thank you for showing some love, my guy. You already know. And we always holding each other down. That's how we got to do in these YouTube streets. Because they ain't no room for us. Because we too real for them. They suppress real dudes. They like the goofy. We ain't goofy enough for them niggas, man. We ain't goofy enough for you too, bro. So we got to do the extra mile. We got to go the extra mile, you know what I mean? I'm starting to see, son. I'm starting to notice, son. These niggas like goofy niggas, bro. They like dumb niggas, bro. They like victims. You know what I mean? Black folks can only root for the victim. Nigga gotta be an ultimate victim. You know what I mean? I can't be that. But all right, guys. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. I'll see y'all later. I'll see y'all probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock the latest. You know what I mean? Y'all wrap up, strap up. Do not play with your life, y'all. And we gonna be at the Mr. Goodbread Show channel, guys. So we check y'all. Check y'all later on.
And his opponent, accompanied by Rock Man from Harlem, New York, weighing in at 215 pounds, GMG Big Money.
Oh, I can't wait to see this one. These two have been waiting for this one for quite some time, and to be honest, so have I.